So, we all like cooking people in a game. And if you've ever played Undertale or Deltarune, you also know how cool it feels to dodge those bullets. So the other day I was just thinking like, yeah, why don't we take that dodging mechanic from Undertale and combine it with an online battle? Okay, I set up a new GitHub repo for my game and we're ready to start. Step 1. In Godot, I set up a basic player character and also a wall. I also attached a very simple character controller script that speeds the player up if a key is held and slows them down otherwise. Let's test the game. It seems like the script is working fine because the player's moving, and when I bump into this wall, the atoms don't align perfectly and I get stopped. Now it's time for... Never mind, the script is definitely not working. Okay, I found the problem, which was that I wasn't applying friction all the time. To fix it, I just had to reorder the code a little bit, and now everything's working perfectly fine. But remember, this game is still supposed to be a 1v1, which means it's time for some... Now, usually game developers treat networking as some sort of apocalyptic scenario, but I don't actually think it's that bad. First, I created a global network script, and inside it, I added some functions for tracking player movement, connecting to the server, starting and stopping games, and detecting when a player was connected or disconnected. I also created some signals to tell other nodes about events. I also added a new lobby scene, which is looking kinda empty, but don't worry, we'll add something special to it later. Inside the code, I repeatedly tried to connect to the server and also started the game when the time was right. Finally, I adjusted the player script to send info and also added a basic background. As you can see, when I move the player on the left, the player on the right also mirrors that player's movements. At this point, I also noticed that the player wasn't actually snapping to the pixels, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but since it was an easy change, I decided to try it out, and yeah, this looks so chopped, I'm reverting it. Okay, we're done with making the player movement multiplayer, but so far all we've done is turn a walking simulator into a multiplayer walking simulator, so I think it's time to add some... After making the ugliest bullet sprite ever, I got to work coding the bullet. To sum up the work... Okay, testing the game, and what's going on here? I think I just made Schrodinger's bullet. As it turns out, I accidentally made both players send the bullet positions, so the bullet will keep bouncing between two positions. So now, the bullets are working perfect. Never mind, they turned into Michael Jackson. Okay, the problem was that I forgot to mirror the bullets' movements, and now the bullets are actually working. I properly added in the battle borders. First, I made the bullets actually do damage and the players send the health information to the others. Now for the actual health bar. Game devs tremble in fear when they hear the phrase adding health bars. No, I'm just kidding, it's really easy. But I somehow managed to mess it up twice. Eventually though, I did get the health bar working. Now, I kinda wanted to add some sort of... To make the game scale over time, I first added an ammo cap to the player. The ammo will replenish when you haven't shot in a while, and I set the cap to 7. To make the actual scaling, I made some money spawn every few seconds that you can pick up. I know that in the future I want the money to give you some money, but since I'm just trying to make a first prototype, I made the money give you some more ammo. So now the game gets harder and harder over time because both players get more and more ammo. Okay, for the next feature, remember how I said my lobby was kinda empty earlier? We're gonna be adding some... As they say, you can't be a game dev on YouTube without adding random goofy stuff to your game, and I'm gonna do that by adding memes to my lobby. So first, I added this giant list of memes that I definitely should not have spent that much time on. Then, I made it pick a new meme from the list every few seconds. Technically, I'm done with the memes by now, but I'm dumb, so I decided to just keep making the system. I noticed that watching the memes cycle slowly was very boring, so I decided to make them cycle super fast and only stop when you press space. Finally, I noticed it was a little awkward for the same memes to keep repeating over and over again, so I decided to stop the most recent ones from appearing again. I did play test a game with my friends, but unfortunately I didn't record and now he's not available, so I won't be able to show any footage. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe please, and I'll keep expanding the game.